Y'all know what it is.
I can't sit at the seat of the scornful. Run away, run away, run away. Those wolves in sheep clothing.
Come on.
Run away. Take back what you stole from me. Compensate. They keep lying, man, and I can't relate. Run away, run away, run away.
Come on.
This is Slaughter D, call me Trap Pastor. Slow, but you know I rap faster.
That right.
Hard rhymes, I'm as serious as cancer. Recognize you ain't a slave, you a master. Came here on the bottom of the boat.
That right.
Can't flow, so I had to backstroke. Coming
Oh,
up
man,
on the
right,
right,
man.
Every day I slang hope, not dough.
Black excellence, down with the team. Malcolm X nightmare, Martin Luther dream.
Fight the power, can you feel what I mean? Like Rod Kim said, I'm a microphone fiend. Came south on a special invitation. Say a word on the current situation. No delay, no more hesitation. All you fist up, take your preparation, sucker.
Yeah.
I can't sit at the seat of the scornful. Run away, run away, run away. Those wolves in sheep clothing.
Come on.
Run away. Take back what you stole from me. Compensate.
They keep lying, man, and I can't relate.
Run away, run away, run away.
Yeah, so you think you can run away from reality? You think you can run away from the problems? You think you can find yourself someplace else to go where there's no God? Hey, man, wherever you go, God is already there waiting on you. So stop running. And if you gotta run, tie your shoes.
So you won't be tripping. So you quit tripping. I'm talking about let go, let go, let go. Boom, boom, boom. Yeah, man. Yeah, man. Yeah, though. What the deal is, though? What up, though? Hey, man. Hey, man. You know what be messing me up? How you don't be knowing how many apps you got open on your phone, and then when you start taking them off, you had like 30 things open at the same time. It's amazing, man, the kind of technological stuff that's going on right in the palm of my hand. Hey, welcome to another edition of the dopest show you never heard of. It's The Situation with Dr.FKeith Slaughter. He is I'm as him. I'm up in here, getting it like I'm supposed to. I'm the trap pastor, I'm the machine. You know how I do on this intentionally Afrocentric live streaming infotainment variety talk experience that some people call a podcast. But I'd like to make the distinction, this is not a podcast, this is a show, shawty. And we be trafficking in truth-telling. I'm talking about Monday through Thursday from around 11-ish. All right, the man in the box is back in the box. That's a good thing. And it's good to know that no one stole a laptop. And you know, black people, we had to be careful with that. It's the first thing we say, somebody stole it. Nobody stole it, somebody just moved it. And then didn't tell nobody, which was a problem. But at any rate, we made it through. We making it through. Happy African American History Month, Black History Month, Freedmen's Month, Descendants of Freedmen's Month. And Troy, you getting it right over there, ain't you, baby girl? I ain't mad at you. Lay it down. Lay it down. All you shawties, lay it down. Miggly, you good? You seem like you all right. You got the same facial expression, so. The eyes are the window to the soul, they say. Man in the box is in the box. So, been doing a whole lot of work this week. Specifically dealing with the grand opening or the open house associated with the Little Zion Annex of the Beloved Community Church. It is a day shelter, a food pantry. It's the thing that you hear me talking about, that you've heard me talking about at the beginning of this show for the last year and some months. Well, now it's actually about to open. And Troya, old bad Troya came through, and she's gonna be on the show later today. But she said something that I can't help but share now. I really would hate to steal her thunder on it. I want to let her say it, but it's what she said was, oh yeah, and today is February the 8th. The year is 2022. We're in the middle of a pandemic, but you're still alive. Okay. What she said was, this is the first time that I ever contributed to a building fund, and there was actually a building. The first time ever. You've been going to a lot of slick churches. Well, people just had building fund because, they be dreaming. And one day when Miss Johnson quit stealing from it, we gonna build us that outer house we were supposed to be building. Yeah, anyway. There's been a lot of work associated with this open house and applying for new grants in order to make it run, make it operate. Dealing with the mayor's office and different offices of dignitaries who are to be present, or scheduled to be present for it. It's a lot of moving parts, man, to making something like this happen. And so I'm very, very thankful to those who have contributed to it. I mean, chief of all is the Archbishop, Sister Slaughter, who has worked tirelessly on this, and we're almost there, but trust me, the people who's kicked it off, and I always think about Brother B. Moss, who at the outset of it, when it was all just a raggedy heap of rubble, began to work on doing the foundational work to create the space that everyone is excited about seeing now. So I think about Brian and Reverend Knight, who, contributed stuff that was like necessary at the time, needful. Reverend Knight was able to get a hold to all of the flooring that we needed, the subfloor. This was back in the day before the other floor got put on top and the walls got painted and all of that. I'm talking about the people who did the structural work. And that reminds me that beneath every project that is successful are people who do structural work, foundational work, that prepares a surface for people to come and work on top of, if you feel what I'm saying. It's one thing to be a painter, it's a whole nother thing to be a framer, right? Both are necessary to create a beautiful edifice, but without the foundational work of the framer, there is nothing for the painter to paint upon. You feel me? And so, Friday at 12 o'clock, this Friday, February the 11th, at 12 o'clock, I invite you to come to 1117 Smith Street to the Little Zion Annex of the Beloved Community Church as the Beloved Community Development Corporation does what it does and opens this safe space for renewal and personal care for those who are unsheltered in the Pittsburgh community. That's what we're doing. It's a beautiful thing. Look like we pulled it off. Look like it's about to come together. The last of the stuff is being done right now. The shower is actually being installed right now as we speak, man. Craig, you remember when it was just a mud hole down there? But hey, it's coming together and it's taking a lot of work. What's next? Grant contracting has done much of the work since Brian laid down the foundation. And so much love to a 25-year-old black man and the other black young men, 25 years old or less, who have done much of the work on this project, building on what the old heads put down. And that's how we're supposed to do it. That's how it's supposed to be done. This is actually a model. This is actually a model on how to fight gentrification, bring together inter-community reconciliation and work together, as well as stopping a developer or some white person from coming in and buying land and transforming the space into something that can only be used by them. We took the space, bought the space, and are using it to support everyone in the community who needs it. And that's the change that needs to occur. And it's happening. And that's the situation. You want to know what the deal is. You ever have so much stuff to do that you just like flow into it and you kind of just let it happen, but you just try to stay alert, you know what I mean? But whatever happening, man. Ain't nothing you can do. We'll just let it happen and keep it moving. I'm saying. So, you want to know what's going on in the world? Let me share with you what it is that I've learned since the last time that I spoke with you. Of course, on yesterday, we had a special edition of the situation with the hip-hop minister, David Tavares, also known as Minister Server, in the space. And so we didn't do the news, so let me catch you up with what's going on in the world. All right, so in Mali, this is blockbuster news that is not being covered on network news. From Mali, okay, Redaction Africa News is reporting that Mali's prime minister on yesterday accused France of having sought to divide part of Mali, to partition the West African country during its military mission there. And that's the latest flare-up in relations between Paris, the capital of France, and Bamako, the capital of Mali. In a 45-minute speech to diplomats gathered at his request, Chakwel Kakalia Maija denounced France, the former colony power, and a vocal critic of the military regime that appointed him. But Maija stopped short of calling for the departure of the anti-jihadist force that France leads in Mali, which is a little murky, it's a little funny, right? He acknowledged that France's military intervention in 2013 had halted a jihadist insurgency that had already captured the north of the country and threatened the south. But the French operation later turned into a de facto partition of the country, he argued. So this is what the leadership in Mali are forced to deal with. A jihadist insurrection moving southward from the north and the French actually attempting to divide the country and to retake control of another part of it. And you got the government, which is a military government, in the middle of these two factions that I believe are part and parcel of the same. You see, the jihadists might be pushing from the north, but France is pushing from the flank, which means that they are trapped. It's going to be interesting to see. Yeah, it's going to be interesting to see. But that's strong language coming from a former colony directed at the French. And I've been saying this for the last almost year now, that what the French are doing is putting the squeeze on every one of their former colonies to make up for the shortfall in their economic coffers. That's what's happening. But you won't hear that discussed in World News Nightly. Oh, man. So Ghana has experienced a debt downgrade by Moody's Investor Service, saying that it was gravely concerned and that the ratings company left out key data to arrive at its decision. Moody's lowered Ghana's long-term debt one step to CAA1 from B3 on February the 4th, citing an increasingly difficult task that the government faces in addressing its liquidity and debt challenges amid revenue generation constraints. Okay, so Moody's Investors is this publication that exists that grades a country's credit and solvency. All right, and so what they are saying is that the credit rating and the solvency of Ghana is in question, and so they downgraded them from a B class to a C class, right? It's like, yeah, it's like going from, driving a Cadillac to driving an Impala, okay, or a Caprice Classic. You stepping down the notch. I mean, you ain't quite in a Rolls, you in a Caddy. But now they say you got to get out the Caddy and you got to get in the Caprice Classic. And, that's a problem. And so what Ghana is saying is that they haven't taken in all of the information, taken all the information into account, and they were downgraded by Moody's inappropriately. And that's what happens. What they really scared of is unrest in Ghana. And the reason they're scared of unrest in Ghana, because obviously the British or the U.S. have already told them that they're getting ready to do something to destabilize the country. More than likely. I mean, it ain't that I'm just so brilliant. It's just that I recognize at this point in my life how the devil get down. Because I've been watching the devil for a while, and it really ain't hard to figure out. The problem that you have and that many people have is that they don't believe the devil is real. And that's how the devil operates, tricking you into thinking that the devil don't exist. All right, finally, 13 million people face severe hunger in the Horn of Africa. This story is coming out of Kampala, Uganda. Drought conditions have left an estimated 13 million people facing severe hunger. People in the region, including Somalia, Ethiopia, and Kenya, face the driest conditions since 1981. And it's calling for an immediate sense of assistance to hold off a major humanitarian crisis. Drought conditions are affecting pastoral and farming communities across southern and southeastern Ethiopia, southeastern and northern Kenya, and south central Somalia. And malnutrition rates are at their highest in the last several decades. So while the U.S. is destabilizing these countries, they are also putting these people at risk of starvation as climate change begins to impact people in ways that are more serious than anticipated. All right. Closer to home. Let's see what we're talking about. Okay, so this ain't news, but it's supposed to be. All right. So I don't give a damn about football. Y'all know that, but I've started looking at it again a little bit lately. You know what the hell. And I'm just glad the 49ers lost to the Rams because it wouldn't have been cool for the team that got rid of Kaepernick to go to the Super Bowl. I wouldn't have appreciated that at all. All right. But since we ain't talking about Kaepernick, but we still talking about football. And even though I don't give a damn about football, this has a political component to it that needs to be addressed, I think. The Houston Texans have filled the last vacancy in the head coaching position being filled by the Houston Texans, and they have hired Lovie Smith. I mean, give me a break, y'all. I mean, really, that's all y'all could do. Reach back in the skeleton pile of black coaches and pull out the one that's married to the white woman, the one that just love white folks so much. It just lost everything when he was the head coach of the Chicago Bears. That's how y'all go. That's who y'all gonna go get. Okay, so you know, it is what it is. Sister Lauder, I'm in the middle of doing my show, but talk to me.
I found it. I couldn't find it.
Okay, you found it?
I found it.
All right, you got 24 minutes.
Loving you.
Love you.
To the people.
Peace to the people. All right. Yep, see, that's what I was talking about. All of this stuff, all of these moving parts that got to fit together in order to make this event happen on Friday. That's one of them. Anyway, Lovie Smith, they calling him a proven winner. Where he win at? Love ain't never won nothing. But a white woman, he Love done won a white woman, and now he a proven winner. All right. I got it. Meanwhile, Brian Flores blowed up the league, and really this is just a response by getting a safe Negro to put into a position so the NFL can pretend that it responded to its obvious investment in white supremacy and the maintenance of white supremacy as being foundational in the governance of the NFL. Okay?
Whatever.
Yeah, whatever. Okay. Oh, what was this that came to my mind? Oh, you know, I was showering this morning, and I do that ever so often. And it came to my mind because I was listening to NPR, and they was talking about critical race theory and how one professor in Florida was denied the right to make a presentation that he was going to make because it talked about the civil rights movement, and white folks don't want to hear about the civil rights movement. But what it made me think about in this erroneous depiction of critical race theory, telling lies about it's being taught in elementary school, you know what? What whites are saying is they are not interested in truth at all. But what they are primarily interested in is the delegitimization of the black perspective. I discovered that, and that's what it is. It's the delegitimization of the black perspective. That's what they're in pursuit of. Do you see? Because the numbers are shifting. the numbers have shifted. White folks are actually the minority in this country now. And they know that they will not be able to outvote people of color any longer. And so what they have to do is really, like Trump said, rig the system so that the minority can rule the majority in this country like the minority rules the world in the world. You see? And so CRT, and so this whole focus on CRT is not really a focus on CRT. It's a focus on information being shared from a black perspective. And what they are attempting to do is to delegitimize the black perspective. And I'm good. What I'm hoping black people will figure out during this time in the development of the history of this country is that this is the time for us to reunite, reunify, close ranks, begin to support black businesses like HBCUs, right? And concentrate our intellectual power, our economic power, our theoretical power, our ability to be creative and to think and to create. Let's crystallize that in our own institutions that already exist and pull away our creative energy and thought power from the enemy's institutions. They telling you they don't want thought from your perspective, but what black people are tending to do, particularly those who are in mainstream media, is to act as if they don't have a perspective that is different from whites, so that they can stay in front of the camera, and so they can keep getting that money that you get for lying on your people, for lying about how you really feel and lying about what you really think. And so, hell yeah, you know I ain't lying. You know I ain't lying. Okay, so the Nation is reporting that from 1975 to 2016, the increase in black doctoral recipients among U.S. citizens and permanent residents across every major field of study, listen to what I'm about to share with you, has outpaced white doctoral recipients. What does that mean? What that means is that there are more black people with expertise as relates to disciplines that are taught in the academy. There has been a rise of black people with these degrees and a decrease of whites, which means that those who are controlling the thought content of the nation are moving toward blackness as that which is normative. Do you see? Do you see the connection?
Yeah, that's what I'm talking about.
And so, but this is an interesting article, and it's written by Anna Gifty Opoku Ajiman. And she writes, today black experts are simultaneously hypervisible, meaning you can see them everywhere, but they are silenced and not heard. They are acknowledged, but not cited. And citations are what happens, what you do when you're in the academy. You say, I've considered this person's thought as I present my thoughts on this particular issue. And these person's thoughts have informed what I think, right? People ain't doing that, is what she's saying. And so she's saying that today's black scholars are very visible, but their words and their thoughts are not being respected. And yeah, I agree with that as a black scholar. But the key to that is to be generative. The key to that is to produce work, right? And you had to, it's hard to find the time to make a living, to do all of the different things you got to do. Like if you, like me, work 3 or 4 jobs, but still you got to create time to write. Because as a person who is an expert in a particular field, you have to create a body of knowledge so that people can be able to pull from that as they create their theory. You got to have your theory out there so people can engage it. So that's the work I do, and I do that. Man, I got an article up right now. It's the first thing that you see on my computer. When I turn my computer on, this article that I'm working on pops up every day, right? And whether I apply some keystrokes to it or not, that's on me. I have to try to find the time to focus and to talk about the subject matter that I'm dealing with, because it is important to have a voice in what people are talking about in the academy and in the public sphere. You know, if black people don't write it down, then white people get to tell the whole damn story. Do you see? And they quite all right with telling the story. What they're saying now with this CRT pushback is that they don't want to hear your story from your perspective. They want to tell your story from their perspective. And let's finally get to this local news. Finally, and at the same time, connected to that are these bomb threats at HBCUs. All of this shit is interconnected. Just know that. Anyway, let me get out of here and hurry up. Somebody say a law office, Angelique Proctor of Fox 5 Atlanta, is reporting that Marvin Arrington Jr.'s law office was firebombed on Sunday night. The commissioner said the attack seems more like something out of the 1960s that he's read about in history books. Commissioner Arrington said that a contractor was working in the building at the time, and he said that his quick response made a huge difference. A lot more could have been lost. He said that Mayor Andre Dickens has reached out to him and has vowed to get the case solved. That's cool. Here's some dumb local news. Vernon Jones is suspending his campaign for governor. Now he's running for Congress. Oh, shucks, he's a funny dude. And finally, new data is showing that the lowest vaccination rates in the metro Atlanta area are in the black community. Carice Belger gets the byline for this story. Black people in Atlanta have the highest number of COVID cases and also the lowest rates of vaccination. But you might think that black people would have a higher rate of COVID-19 in the city because we're the majority of the population. You big head. So this ain't really news, man. We supposed to have it the most if it's more of us here than anybody else. Damn, that just makes sense. At any rate, and I just will not participate in the demeaning and the shaming of black people because black people don't want to get the vaccine. I'm not participating in that. Like many other black people who have any kind of platform to speak have done. You had to watch how easily and how quickly you join in and sing the same tune that your enemy is singing. You had to watch that. That's what made me stop watching Joy Reid. I used to love Joy Reid. When she came on, ooh, Oh, MSNBC, I love to see the colored woman on the prime time talking about news from a black perspective. But they was like, hold up, sis. You got to take that natural wig off, and we need you to have a straight hair wig on. And with the straight hair wig also comes the straight hair wig perspective. Now you need to spend your time shaming your own people because they are suspicious of what whites do in the healthcare industry. So I don't like Joy Reid no more. I can't hardly watch her no more. And I used to love Joy Reid. Anyway, when we come back, I got special guests in the studio, and we're going to get with them and chop up what we chopping up today. I don't know what's on the menu. It's black love, though, always on the menu. It's truth-telling, always on the menu. And, yeah. And since it's African American History Month, hey, man, shucks, it's going down like never before. I got my blackity black shirt on today. I'm blackity black. You know what I'm saying? And I'm a free Negro. So I see y'all on the other side of the break. Don't you go nowhere. Make sure you tell your people and your people's people to tune in to the show, The Situation with Your Brother. All you got to do is go to trappastor.com. Scroll to the bottom of the page, choose an icon, whether it be Facebook Live, Instagram Live, Twitch, or YouTube, and tune in to the show. And if you dare, and if you are seeing us on YouTube, what I want for you to do is subscribe, like, get the notifications, all that stuff that they tell you to do. You know what I'm saying? I'm transitioning over to this kind of media, so I got to remember to tell y'all to subscribe. And we growing. We still growing. You know, we ain't got the thousands of people who tune in to look at stupid ass bullshit. We ain't got that. But as far as it relates to people who talking about stuff that's serious and concerns the forward movement of black people, we doing pretty good, okay? So we'll see y'all on the other side of the break. It's The Situation, and we're open.
We're open.
Yes, we're open.
We are open, and Sandtown Pub is ready to serve you. We're taking precautions, wearing masks, wearing gloves, sanitizing, and practicing social distancing. We've even partnered with local leaders to hand out free masks. So stop by and enjoy our outdoor patio, dine in, call ahead for pickup, get Uber Eats and DoorDash delivery, or order online at www.sandtownpub.com.
Peace, family. It's your girl, Shelly Set with Sun Goddess Scents, your one-stop natural shop. We are located at 4140 Jonesboro Road, booth 225, inside the Forest Park International Discount Mall in Forest Park, Georgia. Come check us out. You can get your health and beauty items, aromatherapy, skincare, Pan-African apparel, and more. You can reach us at 404-434-7963 or sungoddess_scents on IG, or sungoddess.scents on IG, or Sun Goddess Scents like page on Facebook. Peace.
Hi, I'm Broderick Gooch.
And I'm Tion Gooch.
And we're Gooch's Goodies.
Here at Gooch's Goodies, we specialize in delivering smiles and satisfaction to your home with our high-quality food at affordable prices.
Our signature sauces and dishes will guarantee a flavor that your family will love, and that's a Gooch's Goodies guarantee. You can follow us on Facebook,
DoorDash,
and Grubhub. See you soon.
sis, don't stop flowing. Don't stop rocking. I was trying to get you in. So we can capture that moment. Yeah, that moment in hip-hop history. That was dope, man. I'm Slaughter. This is The Situation. Welcome, Black. We up in here getting it like we supposed to do it. I'm talking about. Did you clap your hands? Did y'all clap for me? Okay, I was gonna see. I just wanted to see. Hey man, is the clap machine broke or something? I didn't hear it. I was talking. I was enthralled by the rhythm and the vocals of my system. Thank you. Now I'm serious. I read this study a couple of weeks ago, and I've just been paying attention to that, which says that the brain lights up in the same regions and in the same way to compliments or affirmations that it does to having cash money placed in your hand. Yeah. I said that the brain lights up in the same places with the same intensity when one receives a compliment or an affirmation as it does when cash money is placed in somebody's hand. The brain lights up. It's like, we like that. We like money, and we like people who say nice things about us. And so, my next guest is the founder and CEO and inspirational lifestyle change and holistic wellness consultant of Mother Earth's Blessing Holistic Life Center, a subsidiary of Integrity Global Enterprises, Inc., which is headquartered here in the beautiful city called the A. She is centered here where she provides life support to thousands of individuals and inspires the empowerment of women toward holistic living through cleansing to promote cellular liberation, regeneration, and healing. Ladies and gentlemen, sisters and brothers, please join me in welcoming, for the first time here on The Situation, none other than our dear sister, Adama Alachi. See, that's what I'm talking about right there. I need sis on deck every day, you know, the bustle rap and to bring the energy. Sister Adama.
Yes, sir.
Greetings.
Thank you.
Greetings,
so
dear
much,
sister.
Blessings to you.
Thank you for bringing the light and the spiritual power, and as well as your crew. But what I see your crew doing is just reflecting your light. So it's a beautiful thing. Good to see you. How you making it?
Absolutely fabulously.
Absolutely fabulously. That's a beautiful thing. That's a beautiful thing. And it's something about little women. Y'all little women came up and I said, who are these little women? Coming up in here with all this power. Commanding all of this energy to kind of circulate around through here. Glad that y'all came and glad that you brought it. So when I was speaking with you offline, I asked the question, so what are we talking about?
Well, there's only one thing to really address.
Anytime black people open their mouth, go ahead.
It's absolute law. The victory and triumph that we are promised when we are harmonizing our lives with absolute law.
Yes.
Now, we have been oriented to being under the tenets of imperialism, colonialism,
yes,
capitalism, and what we say is white supremacy. There is no white supremacy. What we see is idiocy and stupidity on crack. To think that you can initiate a global initiative of depopulation and genocide and then survive it.
But that's what makes white supremacy the fallacy that it is.
It's a fallacy.
It's a fallacy. But when you operate according to the edicts of a fallacy, you do dumb shit.
Exactly. And the reality for us, particularly here in Atlanta, Now, I was born in Atlanta. I wasn't raised here.
Okay.
My grandmother was born in 1899. She was a Spelman College graduate. All of her brothers graduated from Morehouse. So I come from a line of ones who really exalted education. I come from a line of ministers. My uncle, GP, my grandmother's eldest brother, was a dean at Morehouse when Dr. King was there, when my father was there, when some other ones were there. And we're in a now moment where we're having, or should be, on the front line of leading the charge of our liberation as a people right here in Atlanta. Why? Because your corporate deities of death are headquartered here. We have one of the greatest populations of homelessness right here. We have one of the greatest populations of black millionaires right here. We have one of the greatest populations of the conscious, the artistic, the spiritually minded people right here. People are being drawn to Atlanta from all over the world. Why? Because Atlanta is center for the establishment of the eternal order. Now, the issue for us is coming to a point in place where we realize that our blackness is not our salvation. When we have been under the edicts of miseducation, religious indoctrination, social manipulation, behavior modification through all of the chemicals that are now deeply embedded within the cells of our brains, our pineal glands, our organs and whatnot, which means that we have been warred against for generations.
Yes, no doubt.
And we have been lulled to sleep by religion and education and whatnot, so that we forgot that we were being warred against.
You raised a whole lot of issues, and you did it in a real
little bit of time.
a small space of time, and we're gonna have to unpack that, and I want to give you space to unpack it. But this is what I need to discover. Are you Sister Adama, who used to be riding me home at 3 o'clock in the morning?
89.3 FM.
And look,
the
so
meeting of the inner circle.
So check it out, sis. Back in 2010, I took my first my first position after completing my doctorate. I went to American Baptist College in Nashville, Tennessee, a historically black college that deals with the education of black ministers, Baptists most specifically. But it then branched into just a larger undergraduate institution. But I would be driving home on Thursday
midnight
nights, and I would be waiting till I got on the other side of chat coming this way, because then you would kick in.
Right.
And I would listen to this sister, and you was like pastoring me. You know what I'm saying? Because I'd flow with you until I pull up into my home. And that was that last 100 miles was the most treacherous part of the journey, making it in. Right. And I need to say, sis, you actually embraced me and carried me in times where I might have fallen asleep. You kept me alert and attentive.
Fully awake.
And for that, I'd like to publicly say thank you. We've been connected for longer than I recognized and realized. And so I'm glad that you are here.
Thank you.
That's a blessing. Yeah, you be doing that thing, sis. It just be flowing. Yeah. Don't stop. Yeah, so hell yeah, when we talk about how to get free. Now, one of the things that I know, now I know who I'm talking to, right? And you kind of scary because, for those of us who live in this society, who, for whatever reason, don't pay attention to what is happening to us, you can be quite anxiety producing in people who don't want to hear the truth about themselves, about what it is that we consume. You know what I mean? You force us to have to look face to face at how it is that we are participating in our own demise. And that makes me uncomfortable, okay? let me just, you have made me uncomfortable, but you have not lied to me.
But the issue, and the issue is that nobody loves you to the degree to which they will intercede or interfere with your killing yourself, because we have been manipulated to think that our participation in meat, dairy, eggs, chicken, fish, alcohol, tobacco, and sugar, right?
Yeah.
Flour, pancakes, waffles, breads, pasta, donuts, and whatnot. But then the effect of that in terms of the actual pandemic that we have been under all of this time, in terms of, one, abortion being the number one killer of us as a people, then heart disease being the number one killer of all people, and then the cancer and the diabetes and the obesity and all of this. So I'm just saying, we're in a place now where we are able to really care enough. You understand? Because, see, otherwise it's just rhetoric and it's just conversation. The issue is when it come time for us to leave the planet, which is rapidly approaching, will you leave as a dead person, or will you leave as a conscious immortal? Now, we're already in the realm of eternity. We're on a planet that is a biospheric intergalactic spaceship that is big as a period at the end of a sentence in this universe.
Of course.
So we're already in eternity. We've come from another realm of eternity.
Yeah, we in
into
space.
This realm.
Yeah, we are in space.
But the space that we're in is in the presence of this absolute and supreme intelligence that people refer to as God. So that is what's beating our hearts and breathing us. It is the eye that sees through every eye. You understand? It has gifted us so much of itself, and we have a direct access to its light, its love, its wisdom, its truth, its peace, its poise, its power, and its potency, and we will never, ever have a wealth greater than who and what we already are, but naked. There is no amount of money, no matter how fine the paper, the ink, or the image upon it, no amount of coin that has ever been minted, that no matter how fine the metal, the platinum, the gold, the silver, the copper, that has any greater value than one beat of our heart or one breath that we take.
Ashe.
Now, the clearing, the cleansing, the purification, because liberation has to happen at the cellular level. It is not a conversation of the political. It is not a conversation of the economy, because the economy is multi-trillion-dollar industry in sickness, illness, disease, and death, where we have become freaking commodity in it.
No doubt.
And so our power is to be able to clear, cleanse, purify, renew, rebirth, regenerate, rejuvenate, revitalize, revivify, and really purify these bodies as the temples for the re-enthronement of the true spirits of the living gods and goddesses. That is our truth. Now, when you're under the forces of Satan, the church, government, Lucifer, and the devil, Coca-Cola, Burger King, McDonald's, Chick-fil-A, and all of those ones who are serving
corporations,
the carcasses of dead animals to us as food, then our only salvation and deliverance and liberation is in our reconciliation, harmonization, and reatonement with the truth of our being as these living, loving, intelligent, potent, and immortal points of the absolute and supreme intelligence that is beginningless, endless, infinite, and eternal.
Ashe.
It's our time.
It's our time. It's interesting that you say that you honed in on the idea of value. That's something that I've been reflecting on, how people are seduced into a narrative of lack, a narrative of their own diminished value, and how, and of course, how the history of what our people have experienced impacts how we behave in the here and now, how, just the reality that the past continually impinges upon the present, and we find ourselves, you know. I was doing the Facebook thing with somebody, and I put a post up and it says, "I am Black history, and so are you." Somebody, sharp young brother, says, "I am Black present," right? And so then I waited a day and I responded to him and said, "Yeah, but this post is Black history now." Because the moment that you say, "I'm Black present," you already become Black history. So it's all about what has happened to impact and inform what is presently happening. My question for you is, we know the impact of those past traumas and that which is encoded on the DNA that is in many of us, what that contains, the experiences that those contains. My question is, what are some interventions that you would suggest to help us unlearn some of that trauma, or use the traumatic experiences in order to fuel us becoming whole in the here and now?
The one thing that has to happen is that we have to be fully committed. Mm-hmm. You understand? To be committed to life, because we have been supported in thinking and believing that we have to die from something. Mm-hmm. And that death is the natural culmination, finality, eventuality, unavoidability, destiny, and fate of what it is to be human. Mm-hmm. And so rebuking and revoking that in reclaiming the true identity of us, not as Black people, but as intelligences of existence. Mm-hmm. That are immersed in nothing but intelligence of existence. Mm-hmm. So the recognition that our bodies are perfectly and divinely designed, mm-hmm. right? Nobody really reinforced us to understand we are perfectly and divinely designed.
Right, yeah, we get the lie from church. We get the lie that, what is it? I was born in sin, exactly, and shaped in iniquity, which is bullshit that I don't repeat.
And so the necessity for us in understanding, one, law is an inherent part of existence. Man does not create law. Law is an inherent part of existence. Now, we were not taught law. Had we been taught law, then we would be in a much greater degree of self-reflection and vivid self-expression as these points of this absolute and supreme intelligence.
Give us some examples of law.
The law is one. Everything that proceeds from you is going to come back to you, right? So in that realm, the seeds that have been sown in sickness, illness, disease, and death through the proliferation of meat, dairy, eggs, chicken, fish, alcohol, tobacco, white sugar, white flour, all of these things, is going to create a harvest of sickness, illness, disease, and death. Now, in order for us to really reverse these things, and it's completely reversible, and this is what I do pretty much all day, every day, is to consult with people to get them to remember the divine functioning of their bodies, right? So we're breatharian first. Everybody has to breathe. It is the breath that is the animating, maintaining, and sustaining force of our existence. Our bodies are 80% water. Like the earth is 80% water. Now, water is the medium of intelligence that holds the frequency and vibration. Now, the reason that the oppression is happening at the cellular level through the meat, dairy, eggs, chicken, fish, alcohol, tobacco, and sugar is so that we are oppressed cellularly. So no matter how much education we get, now no matter how much religious training we get, no matter how much money we get, as long as we are in violation of the primary law of existence that says thou shalt not kill, even though many of us are not killing, we're feeding off of the carcasses of that which has been killed. And those carcasses are now full of preservatives so that they are not literally rotting in our bodies as they should. All right? Now, the blood is sacred stuff.
No doubt.
Right? So the spirit is charged upon the blood.
No doubt.
All right? And 80% of what we are consuming should be water-based. So we're talking the minerals that we get from our herbs, right? We're talking fresh fruit with seeds and vegetation, right? That's what we're perfectly and divinely designed to consume for optimum cellular functioning, right? But we don't have the thought of eating for optimum cellular functioning because we have been socialized under behavior modification protocols. All right, so the Germans have instituted all of these chemicals that are in our breakfast cereals, are in the cow's milk, the dairy, the eggs, the chicken, the fish. So we're talking nitrates, nitrites, BHA, BHT, sulfites, preservatives, flavor enhancers, FD&C coloring, blue lake dyes, and all of this, many of which is marketed to children.
Right.
People who undermine their children, this is the progression of law, are destined to die.
Yeah.
Now,
Yes.
our lives are hanging in the balance. And I'm the one who is asserting that in this now moment, we can flip this script, but we cannot continue to be a detriment to ourselves and survive it. We cannot continue to feel as though we have been given the free will
To kill ourselves.
to be in a place where we are not functioning as intelligences of existence. Now, the nature of intelligence, and you're talking from the gnat to the whale, you understand,
It's survival.
is that it exalts a full effort in its living. It does nothing to undermine itself. It knows its food. It excretes its waste. It knows its kind. It perpetuates itself. And it has sense to respond correctly and directly when it senses that its life is being threatened. Everything loves its freedom. Everything that becomes captive begins to exhibit signs of stress, frustration, anguish. So the fish, whether we are fishing with a rod and reel or we're pulling with a net, those tissues are filled with the fear and the frustration
And those chemicals
and the
that-
anxious, right. And so now we've got more bipolarism, more schizophrenia and whatnot in our communities being given more drugs because we are the more sentient, sensitive, psychic, empathetic spirits, right? So we're holding all of this.
Yeah.
But the issue for us is realizing, one, the spirit is like vapor in these bodies. We're having to accept that the body is the temple of God.
Yes.
And that God is the true self. And there isn't anyone who hasn't been given it. The intelligence of existence is so loving and beloved, it has figured a way to give itself to absolutely everything and everybody everywhere. We don't have to beat other ones up to take theirs.
Right.
We have it. All right. Now, the issue is clearing, cleansing, purification, purifying. So what? So that our cells are liberated. And then we're nourishing. Now, many of us, particularly here in Georgia and other places in the South, we crave clay. We crave the dirt. We didn't know what that craving meant. Women, when we were pregnant, we craved the dirt.
Yeah, I remember
right?
going out and getting my auntie dirt.
Exactly.
We was from Arkansas, Mississippi. We didn't call it dirt. We call it doit.
Doit.
Yeah.
Right.
And she'd
So-
get out and I put it in a jar for her. She'd let it.
Right.
dry.
So the dirt,
The doit. Yeah.
right? The dirt is magnetic.
Yes.
So we put it in water and we drink it. And it goes through the circulatory system and it begins to loosen up those nitrates, those nitrites, that BHA, that BHT, those antibiotic residues, those hormones and all of the chemicals, plus the viruses and the bacteria, anything that's inorganic in the tissues. And then we open up all channels of elimination so that that stuff can get out. And then we nourish ourselves. So the clay is nourishing and the herbs are nourishing. All right. And so this is what constitutes optimum cellular functioning. Now, the issue for us is realizing that most people, we're talking the judges, the lawyers, the doctors, the surgeons, the police officers, everybody is in a state of nutritional deficiency because we've all been fed garbage.
Yes. True.
Right? Nobody has been authorized by the intelligence of existence, the will of existence, or that which we refer to as God, to come to the planet and then have a livelihood based on undermining other points of itself. Nobody has been authorized by the intelligence of existence to be murderers, liars, thieves, bastardizers, usurpers, rapists, violators, and this and that, because there's only one. So that which we do unto others shall be done unto us. That's law. So the justice that is in full effect is the animal's justice. The justice of the cows, the justice of the pigs, the justice of the chickens, the justice of the fish in our cancer, our heart disease, our diabetes, our strokes, our aneurysms and whatnot, because we cannot work against other beings. We cannot feed off the carcasses or the progeny or the body fluids of other beings and then be all right with ourselves.
Yeah, what can I say? Yeah, you ain't lied yet.
We ain't lying. That's the reality of it. We were told to know the truth, and the truth would make us free. But knowing the truth and living the truth and loving the truth with our whole body, heart, mind, with all of our might is the same thing that we were given in "Thou shalt love thy mother, father, thy creator, thy Lord," with your whole body, heart, mind, life, and soul. So you can't love Jesus and then defile your blood. What we're doing is creating the blood of Christ. A bloodstream that bears no violation of violated beings, no inebriants, no intoxicants, no artificial colors and flavors and this and that, so that we are restored in the light of the truth of the all that we are as these living, loving, intelligent, potent, and immortal points of the absolute and supreme intelligence that is God and Goddess in our temples.
One thing that I know, I've been doing, radio interviews and stuff for some years now. And one thing that I know is when everything has been said, to not add anything to it. Ladies and gentlemen, sisters and brothers, my sister, Pastor.
The heraldess.
The heraldess. None other than Sister Adama. Wow. And the only reason I stopped is because I want you to come back and finish. That'll be dope.
Absolutely.
Hey, I appreciate it, man. I really do, sister.
Where I am?
You are dope, and to meet you really is a high honor for me, actually.
Thank you so much.
Thank you. Thank you for what you do for our people.
Thank you.
All right, when we come back, man, we're going to continue with the show. I don't know where Troya went, but she around here somewhere, and she'll be up. There she go over there getting it. All right, I see you over there, sis, taking this all in. Man, it's a lot, but we're going to have Sister Adama to come back and kick it with us. The heraldess. She's trying to tell us. And it is so unfortunate that we don't like to listen to truth. Damn. Ain't it terrible? When we come back on the other side, though, we're going to get truth from another sister, another source, because our sisters are pouring it out for us in this right now moment.
Eternal, absolutely.
And we're going to live, and we're going to grow, and we're going to get strong. We're going to become re-empowered through hearing from our sisters. My name is Slaughter. I'll be black when I get back with more of this thing called The Situation. Don't you go anywhere.
We're open. Yes, we're open.
We are open, and Sandtown Pub is ready to serve you. We're taking precautions, wearing masks, wearing gloves, sanitizing, and practicing social distancing. We've even partnered with local leaders to hand out free masks. So stop by and enjoy our outdoor patio, dine in, call ahead for pickup, get Uber Eats and DoorDash delivery, or order online at www.sandtownpub.com.
Peace, family. It's your girl, Shelly Set with Sun Goddess Sense, your one-stop natural shop. We are located at 4140 Jonesboro Road, booth 225, inside the Forest Park International Discount Mall in Forest Park, Georgia. Come check us out. You can get your health and beauty items, aromatherapy, skincare, Pan-African apparel, and more. You can reach us at 404-434-7963 or sungoddess_sense on IG or sungoddess.sense on IG or Sun Goddess Sense like page on Facebook. Peace.
Hi, I'm Broderick Gooch.
And I'm Tian Gooch.
And we're Gooch's Goodies.
Here at Gooch's Goodies, we specialize in delivering smiles and satisfaction to your home with our high-quality foods at affordable prices.
Our signature sauces and dishes will guarantee a flavor that your family will love, and that's a Gooch's Goodies guarantee. You can follow us on Facebook,
DoorDash,
and Grubhub. See you soon.
And that's a wrap.
Professor John Henry Clark was our clock. He told us the time of day. He was our compass, pointing out the way. He told us who we were and who we'd have to be. He's on his journey now. Professor John Henry Clark was our clock. He told us the time of day. He was a compass, told us who we were and who we have to be. He's on his journey now. Professor John Henry Clark was our clock. He told us the time of day. He was a compass, pointed out the way. He told us who we were and who we have to be. He's on his journey now. Professor John Henry Clark was our clock. He told us the time of day. He was a compass, pointing out the way. He told us who we were, who we have to be. He's on his journey now.
Dr. John Henry Clark is a Jegna among Jegnas. A Jegna inspires the young and teaches them how to be advocates for their birthright. A Jegna is a warrior who loves his people. Being a Jegna is an awesome responsibility, and it takes genius, special African genes. Dr. John Henry Clark is the Jegna who teaches Jegnas. We look to him for knowledge, for guidance, for clarity, and for accountability. He is the model that we use to shape our characters, to determine our actions. As an ancestor, he protects our people. His voice is the voice of the eternal warriors. From his pen comes the eloquence.
I wrote some powerful words.
Dr. Clark did not teach dogma. He trained us to expose dogma. He trained us to ask the questions that will lead to new questions and to new concepts based on reclaiming and renewed values of our African heritage.
This shit crazy, man. The energy is like swirling around and shit. It's just like, yeah. Oh, yeah. What's up? We back and we black, man.
Especially young Africans seek
It's Slaughter. Adama came through here, man, with that power energy, man, serving it up to us. And I helped, she's the heralder. She just tell you the truth, man, and try to get you to think about your possibilities for resurrection. Anyway, who was that we was listening to? That's Masiki. That's some of that Masiki scales. Yeah. I'm gonna have to go on and kick it with Sister Adama and get myself together, man. Get back on what you call it and figure out. You know, I love Sandtown Pub, but I'm gonna have to just start eating the salads. Yeah, man, cause Yeah, because I be hearing them dead chickens be waking me up in the morning. Tell me, why you do me this? You do me this. I wasn't born to be a tender. Damn. That was a lot, man. I ain't gonna lie. Sister Adama, like I said, that was like a dream come true meeting this sister, man. And I used to be trying to call. I could never get through. And she would be on WRFG all night. You know, when I'd be driving home, coming from Nashville, trying to make it home to see my family, man. Trying to stay awake and alive. I mean, it would be a real battle, right? Because, you know, like the trip from Nashville to Chattanooga is one in which the first part of the journey coming out of Nashville is smooth, you know, and then when you get to the mountains, you're going to be awake, right? Because the mountains is a mug and they are treacherous, right? So, but after you come out of the mountains and make it through Chattanooga and you start trying to pull into Atlanta, you know you're about an hour and 15 minutes, an hour and 30 minutes away. That's when Adama kicked in and would wake me back up so I could make it, man. I imagine my wife and children are also appreciative to you as well. So they didn't have to spend all that insurance money. My next guest is a friend of the situation. She is an author and an educator and an activist. And again, she my friend. Ladies and gentlemen, sisters and brothers, put your hands together for Old Bad Troya. Also known as Troya Bishop, MED. What's up, sis?
I am so happy to be here.
I'm so happy that you're here.
Yeah, it's always good energy.
Welcome Black, yeah. But Sister Adama came in and put the thing on it today, boy.
Fire.
But again, I knew that's why I like to just sit back and listen to some folks just come on through. And I'm gonna have to get Sister Adama, see if she come through here and preach for us one Sunday.
Listening is a ministry.
Just drop it, you know what I'm saying, and get some healing in this Pittsburgh community. Yes. You know, and what we're doing our best to do the best that we can to make it happen. But,
same here.
Yeah. You know, so Troy, what have you been up to since the last time that we spent time together?
I've been up to everything. God is really moving in my life. This year, I started a new intention with making sure that I eat better. And what God did for me today, I had today a chance to spend a little bit more time with God. So what I started doing is what you were just saying, listening. Instead of getting up in the morning and just praying first, I started getting up in the morning and just being still first. And God had really been dealing with me in terms of being still and being quiet and listening. And I'm so glad that you demonstrated how powerful it is to just listen when Pastor Adama was speaking. And when she was speaking, it was confirmation for me, because I've been in a study of Genesis. In Genesis 1, God is teaching about when he created man, when he created the earth, he created man and animal to eat plants and vegetables. That was the original intention when he created it. And so I'm so glad that I had an opportunity to hear the pastor speak and bring that hot fire just to confirm that God really is trying to change me.
Flammable.
Yes, the way that I think, the way that I live, and that was just really a blessing.
And I'm glad to hear you share that, because I mean that's if we do nothing else, then hell, the accomplishment of what the goal of the show has been performed here today. If that is what happened with you, hell, today was a successful day.
Yes.
That was a successful day. And we got to get my sister
showed up. I'm
back
so
through
glad.
here. Yeah, I can feel it.
God is so faithful, ain't he?
Yeah, it's been like that around here lately, man. We've been retuning. And what's so crazy is, you know, a lot of people know that, you know, somebody broke into our food pantry and like stole stuff that was important for the people in the community to be able to access. and a member of the community who actually, and we think we know who it is, and I don't know for sure, but I heard that some hood justice was visited upon our brother.
That's law.
It's some hood justice came.
It is what it is.
And what was, me, I'm cool. I mean, I've been robbed before. I know what it's like. I done had more than folks just breaking my house while I was gone, even though I have experienced that. But hell, I done, seen the business end of a double barrel before. I've seen the business end of a smaller caliber weapon before, and was compelled to separate with some of my worldly goods. I preferred to separate with the goods over separating with my life, right? But what was the most disheartening thing about having someone who has received from your grace to come back in the rob you? What got me is that the sisters who do the primary volunteering were made to feel uneasy. Wow. That's the only thing that I hate that we lost. I don't mind losing stuff, you know what I mean? But I don't know, it's going to require for me and for the men of our church to be much more vigilant and attentive in the space, because sisters feel a little shook that they put forth all of this effort every day to make sure that people have what they need, and then somebody disrupt the space. It ain't just the stealing, it's the ramshacking, of the stuff that they had so lovingly stacked and put in order. You know what I'm saying? And it's crazy. But anyway, you are I don't know, I like to consider you to be like a free spirit and a free thinker. Thank you. And I was sitting here reading from one of your earlier books, because you are quite prolific as relates to your generativity. Thank you. As relates to literature. You be producing it. You've been putting books out. Before everybody got on the bandwagon, you was already doing this. And that's the thing I'm looking at, just like everybody is an author now, everybody got a podcast now, but it's only going to be those of us who was down with it and true to it who going to make it on the other end after this ain't popular no more. Right. You know what I'm saying? But in your book, The Answers to Intimacy, Why Men Need Oral Sex and Women Need to Talk, which was a powerful little text. And I had forgotten. Every time I forgot I did the forward, and then I forgot that what I wrote was so damn dope. I mean, you ain't sent me no damn what you call it, and no damn what you call this stuff, no royalties. My publisher, I got a decent publisher. My first publisher, this nigga ain't sent me no royalties. And I know I sell some books, but my new publisher, she sends me royalties, and I appreciate that. This is what I wrote about your book. I wrote, the text workbook that Troya has written is a profound and important response to the problem that plagues our people, the problem of communication. Though the provocative title may entice passing interest, the subject matter is grounded in historical, cultural, and psychosocial research that is scholarly, practical, and needful for the healing of Black couples and families, and which may lead to the resurrection of our people. Troya's Socratic approach to teaching interpersonal communication skills invites the reader to do the work of self-reflection. Through honest confrontation of the sources of pain and brokenness among us, we may experience a repair of our most precious relationships. The Answers actually gives us answers for one of the most pressing problems plaguing our people. You and I wrote that after reading this text because I saw you asking some basic foundational questions, inviting people into self-reflection, to question oneself instead of questioning others, which people tend to do, which emerges out of a space of judgment. But no, if it's gonna be any judgment done, do it judge yourself and ask yourself questions. How did you discern that would be the best way to get that information across to people who generally are skeptics as it relates to the possibilities for reunification of Black women and Black men?
Well, it was my process. And I was with my ex-husband for 12 years. And then now, as of January, been divorced for 13 years. But on my journey and in my walk with God, I allowed myself to really ask the question of how can I grow? And what do you want me to do? And in that process, that's basically where I came up with that. We really have to let go of the racist, or some people like to use the term white supremacist mindset that I know everything, I can do everything. No, you can't. And what racism really teaches and perpetuates is to look at other people as other people fall. Even if Black people are poor, it's their fault. Or just if somebody's stealing because they're hungry, it's their fault. Or what we really got to look at ourselves and say, you know, what am I doing wrong? How can I do it better? And really, how can I live for your glory? And when we really are intentional about really glorifying God and connecting with Him in a real way, He will show you where you need to grow and how you can really how you can use the tools of righteousness. I was trying to think of a different word besides righteousness, but just to be.
It's righteousness.
Yeah.
Righteousness, right thoughts, right actions.
Yes.
Yeah, that's
and how
it's
we
real
can love
simple.
each other.
You was on it.
Yeah,
but the church just seeming ownership of that term perverts it.
It does.
Right. So you don't even want to use it. Right. Yep. But no, I know what you mean when you say righteousness. I know, at our church, the term righteousness is a part of what we believe in. It's a part of our doctrinal stance, but our doctrinal stance is based upon ma'at. Yes. And ma'at, a part of ma'at is righteousness. Absolutely. Right? And there's this idea that since it's associated with the church, that righteousness cannot be achieved by humans, right? But righteousness can be achieved by humans. It's about thinking right thoughts and performing correct actions. Yeah. So that's the answers to intimacy. People need to pick that up, and also so you can get my forward, so I can get me some royalties. But this new text, entitled "Life Doesn't Have to Be Perfect to Be Wonderful."
That's right.
A survival guide on how to thrive after divorce. Talk about this text, please.
Yeah, well, it goes a little bit deeper into just making sure that you are intentional with loving yourself and loving other people. Doing a lot of reflection, because most people, whether it's just a breakup after a relationship or if it's a divorce, and you ask, well, what happened? And you ask yourself this question within your other friends. Most people that you know are going to say the same thing. He was crazy, or she was crazy. And but we really don't allow, again, we don't allow space for self-reflection, because if we were really honest, you were the one that gave your phone number to crazy, you dated crazy, you fell in love with crazy, you had a baby with crazy, you got engaged to crazy, you got married with crazy, and then you stayed with crazy way too long. So let's take a moment and just reflect and say, on
your participation in your problem. Yeah.
What was I thinking?
Yeah.
But at the root of it, it's really just kind of like in the first book, it really is trauma. And we have participated in allowing the trauma of racism and the aftermath to be normalized. It's not normal. And we really have got to get help from somebody who is a professional and who's Black and own their Blackness like you. That's why I talk about you and everything that I do in all spaces that I am, because we need to own that we've been in pain, but you need to get somebody that's well to work on your head. Don't go to them white folks that Kanye went to because you're going to end up
Yeah,
strange.
like Kanye.
Yeah.
you end up like Kanye.
Yeah. But we got to be intentional. We got to be intentional with our healing and make sure that people who love us and understand us and understand our journey are trying to help us on our way. And those are some of the basic principles that I'm sharing.
Well, you know, I always enjoy reading your work, and hopefully you brought this for me so I can read this one. I'm trying to avoid a divorce. Hopefully that I never have to experience that. You know what I mean? So I'm gonna read this.
Matter of fact, I don't even want you to keep that because we're not sowing no kind of.
Okay, so
that's right.
No, well, you know, hell, my wife ain't gonna let me get divorced.
That's right. You got the best one. She got a fan club. I'm the president of her fan club.
She ain't with that. She think in terms of, you know, killing people and stuff. You know,
I love her. She's brilliant minded.
She tries to block that kind of stuff from happening. You know.
That's right.
Anyway, hell, I'm too old anyway now. Anyway, what kind of ventures you got coming up? Because I know you're always involved in something, still active. I can't look at that picture over there without thinking about you and Embark. I said Embark is presently, it's not defunct. It's just it's hibernating.
Yeah, restructuring. That's right, hibernating. Right now, actually, presently today, I'm supporting other parents through Parental Empowerment Institute. We had a lot of different people to contact their senators, and we were asking them to pass Senate Bill, I think it's 533. And basically what that does is provide extended care for women who are, if they're pregnant or just had a baby, and that care goes, instead of them just being able to receive care for 6 months, it increases it to them being able to receive care for a year. Okay. And it expands it to include mental health, because we know a lot of women experience
the postpartum
depression and a lot of other things. So we're thinking that it's going to help with infant mortality rates and the mortality rates with women, because unfortunately, Georgia, I believe, is number 2 nationally with mortality rates for women after pregnancy.
Yeah, and that, you know, falls squarely on the shoulders of the sick care system.
Exactly.
In this
so we
country.
find out today if it passed in the Senate. Hopefully, and then we'll push to get it passed in the House and then signed into law this summer. But we always are trying to, uplift other people.
That's a beautiful thing. Well, Troya, I'm always glad to see you, and I haven't seen you like I usually do for some. Well, I guess it might have something to do with a pandemic. We used to see each other a little bit more, and of course we used to have our monthly meetings and all that stuff. So hopefully we are close to rounding this corner and
I'm so tired of
moving back toward a space wherein we are no longer afraid to gather.
Yes.
And once we make it past there, I think that our work will come off a little bit more smoothly. Absolutely. And we'll be able to get done some of the things that need to get done. Again, thank you for coming through.
Thank you for having me.
And for sharing. Ladies and gentlemen, sisters and brothers, put your hands together for my sister, Troya Bishop.
Hi,
Old Bad Troya. Where you get Old Bad Troy from? Why folks start calling you Old Bad Troy?
Because I was able to get adults to do things that other kids couldn't. I was persuasive. So if they needed
being persuasive was likened to being bad.
Right, because remember that's when Michael Jackson Bad came out and Run DMC Bad came out. So I was Old Bad Troya.
Okay.
It stuck.
It stuck. Well, you're a bad girl. God bless you. Thank you for kicking it with us here at the Beloved, man, in the situation. All right. It's time to roll up out of here, man. I got class coming up at 1 o'clock on the dot. Otherwise, we would have talked a lot longer.
You was late, Dr. Slaughter.
But I got class coming up at 1, man. So I'm going to get out here and kick it with my students. Thank you for being a part of this, another episode of the dopest show you never heard of. This is The Situation. Thank you to Dr. Adama for coming through and blessing our people, as well as the squad that she brought through with her, man. Hey. Can't wait till they come back.
Have a lit squad.
They brought some energy up in this room, shawty. as well as, thank you, bless us, as well as dear Sister Troya. It's time to get out of here. Peace to peace. To the Archbishop and the Holy Family. To the beloved community I love so well. To my video engineer, Craig Miggly. To my crack research team, HC in the place to be. To my producer, C to the O to the Courtney Omega. Stop playing. To the man in the box, the Grand Imperial Slice Master Supreme, also known as Big Not Little. Man, appreciate all of y'all, man, for kicking it with me today. And you, all I want you to do is love me, and I'm gonna love you black. Peace to the people, power to the people, and Rudy Roof to the brass.
Run away, run away, run away. Those wolves of sheep clothing.
The mouths of the wise teach knowledge, but the lips of the fool talketh foolishness. Almighty, me not like them hypocrites, me not like them parasites. Them scheme by day, them plot by night, striving on the plight of the poor and the sufferers. Oh, Jah know them are backstabbers, Jah know them are bloodsuckers. I can't take them vampires, 'cause I'm a free up fighter. I am a free up fighter. I am a free up fighter. I am a free up fighter. I'm on fighting for what is right. Oh, no, nah, give up the fight. Fighting for truth and rights. Up full in a Jaja side. Fight, we have to fight, we have to fight. Fight, we have to fight with all we might. Fight, we have to fight, we have to fight. Fight, we keep out all them parasites. 'Cause I'm a free up fighter. I am a free up fighter. I am a free up fighter. I am a free up fighter. Free up the track. Substance of the beast. They have been shedding the blood of my people. They are sucking the blood of my people. Oh, it's the nature of the beast. Nature of the beast. Shedding the blood of my people. Sucking the blood of my people. Shedding the blood of my people. Sucking the blood of my people. The blood. Blood of my people. The blood. The blood. Blood of my people. The blood. No more. They devise all kinds of weapons, then using them to kill my people. Some are famous, dangerous and deadly weapons. ICBW, chemical and biological weapons, like hate and Ebola, weapons of genocide against my people. They're instigating strife and war among my people, setting up the climate for the blood to run. The blood have to run for the base to feast. Oh, it's the nature of the beast. Nature of the beast. Shedding the blood of my people. Sucking the blood of my people. Shedding the blood of my people. Sucking the blood of my people. The blood. Blood of my people. The blood. I cry. The blood. Blood of my people, the blood. Sucking the blood of my people. They are shedding the blood of my people. They are sucking the blood of my people. No more shedding the blood of my people. No more sucking the blood of my people. No more shedding the blood of my people. No more sucking the blood of my people. No more, our blood will shed no more. If it makes sense, we have to go and do it, you know. Yeah, hear what I man say. Right now, but each and every day I say, oh people now, here I say, freedom. annihilate your body and destroy your world. They are waging all kind of warfare to distract and confuse your mind. Break them shackles, break them chains. Don't let them control your brain. Break them shackles, break them chains. Even though them change your name. Wake up, wake up, wake up, free your mind. Wake up, wake up, wake up, wake up, free your mind. If they control your mind, they can control your thoughts. If they control your thoughts, they can control your actions. Prompting you to take their baits that will lead you to self-destruction. With your self-defeating, self-destructive actions, doing exactly what they want. As you fall in their trap, say, up your manipulation, them unleash, them demons and them beasts, to rape, ravage and feast. So wake up, oh people, to reality. Wake up and free your mind. Wake up, oh people, to reality. Wake up and free your mind. Wake up, wake up, wake up and free your mind. Wake up, wake up, wake up and free your mind. They create a schooling shifts in preparing your mind for manipulation with their lies and their propaganda. Desensitizing your minds for more lies and falsification. To the medias and their institutions with make up rules and more distractions. Confusing and mixing up your mind. Do you know what are their plans? I say it's mind control. Them evil Babylonians, they wanna steal your soul. So wake up, oh people, to reality. Wake up and free your mind. Wake up, oh people, to reality. Wake up and free your mind. Wake up, wake up, wake up and free your mind. Wake up, wake up, wake up and